Welcome to another episode of the Shea and Irving podcast. It is me, Shea, stuck in the woods of Connecticut. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. I'm with Hammer de Tejas, not alone. He's on the road doing something goofy, earning money, jobby job. I don't know. Hammer, how are you?
I'm good. I'm en route driving in the Atlanta awful highways. So I will
Is it
try my
traffic right now?
best to not it's not traffic, it's like DFW. It's just a confusing city. Like
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of
getting
highways.
around here, a lot of highways. Anyways, glad to be here, glad to be back on the pod. Excited for the agenda.
Big show, got a couple headlines. Obviously, college football playoff. We're going to talk about that. The transfer portal and the mania that is ensuing. We're going to talk about that. Daddy over here is flying to Austria on Saturday, and it's conflicting with a game, but it might not. We're going to talk about that. Surviving Christmas with the family. The benefits of wild game meat, whether it be squirrels, raccoons, deer, boar. We'll get into that. But most importantly, the drones. Hammer, it's time to dive deep into what is clearly an invasion, either by the aliens or by our military industrial complex. The DoD came out today and said they are not government drones that everybody's seeing. Mayorkas came out and said most of what people are seeing are actually small aircraft. They're planes, so people are freaking out for no reason. And that there's no danger, even though they don't know what the fuck they are. Now, rumor has started on the Twitter and the other socials that say most of these drones are sweeping the area for high levels of radiation. As crazy as that sounds, that also sounds like the exact thing our government would want to hide from us so we don't all panic and shoot each other in the face. Hammer, what are you hearing?
I can't go into some of the details, Shay, but at a high level, um, I have no idea.
Woo!
I like
Scared the shit out of
it's
me.
yeah, no, I don't fucking know. Like, I like conspiracy theories just like, you and John and the rest of the people. Like I honestly have no fucking clue. I could see a lot of this being non-government, but like there's so many.
Right.
Like if it's not the government, then like who is it? Because it ain't like recreational dudes and
Mm-mm.
like I have to think we're at a place now where like other governments have drones that are flying over our country. I have to assume we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, so these drones, I guess, are the most advanced drones people have seen. We're talking big, like 6-foot wingspan, stopping in the middle of the air, freezing just like a drone would, not small aircraft type shit. So to me, there's a couple options, right? Aliens, which I think would be the best, because what
Mm.
happens if there's an alien invasion, kids? The Constitution is immediately suspended. Elections canceled. We finally get our freedom without rules. Um, or it's the military industrial complex running game for DOD. So DOD can say, no, we don't know what it is, but really they know. Or it's a government plot for us to start writing regulations via the FAA for drone rules, like keep the drones out of the sky. You can't just fly drones wherever you want. I do find it quite interesting that a lot of these drones have these FAA blinking lights and like warning lights and flight lights and shit. I find that quite interesting. I don't think the aliens would be so kind as to pass FAA regulations while they're in the air. So, interesting. But I
What
think
about a DARPA project gone wrong? That's the other thing.
that's
Like,
that's possible. Yeah. But I think the bigger issue is our government. I believe Mayorkas and those morons when they say, we don't know what they are, but they're not a threat. The fact that they are allowed to come out on TV in a straight face without getting slapped in the freaking mouth and say, out of the same side of their mouth, we don't know what they are. There's no reason for alarm. What
Yeah, that don't fly.
what the fuck? That's
Yeah,
alarming. That's
Yeah.
fucking alarming. You don't know what they are? You're the US government. You know what I searched up for breakfast this morning on my fucking iPhone? You don't know what's in the sky? What do you mean? What kind of game are you running? That don't make no damn sense. And I shouldn't be alarmed. You don't know what they are. There's just strangers and weird machines above our houses staring at us. But don't be alarmed. Go to your job, make your money, pay your taxes, be an individualized little unit and help GDP, spend more money, buy more stuff. Fuck you. Throw it away. Can't trust any of them. So the drones are after us. We're never going to get away. And I think now is the best time as any to suspend democracy. This is what voting gets us, Hammer. Drones.
Why do you think that they're mostly in the northeastern part of the United States?
That's where the power lies in this country. Obviously.
Okay.
I do think the rumor about them searching for the radiation levels, New Jersey is obviously the biggest port of New York. It's the port of New York. So if a dirty bomb was coming in and they wanted to hit the city, they would come in through New Jersey. So that theory, that gets a couple of legs with me. If you're thinking it's radiation and it came in on a crate or something, then it would be in New Jersey somewhere hiding until they can drive it through the Lincoln Tunnel or some shit like that.
Which,
That
like,
makes
that's
sense.
probably then the CIA, they're NSA, and they're using contractors so they can say it's not the government's.
Exactly
Right?
my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
plausible deniability. DOD, State Department. What do you mean? We got nothing to do with this shit. Because
Well,
they're
they
not
don't know
saying
because
it.
they don't know what the fuck goes on at the
They
CIA
literally
or the
don't know.
NSA. They
Right.
have no idea. There's no oversight.
They literally have no idea.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I don't think it's aliens anymore. I really thought it could be for a minute. I thought there were tiny little aliens, and these drones were like massive ships for them, and they're looking for a new home. And they were like, we found Earth, and oh my god, we can live here. And then they pulled up to New Jersey, and they were like, holy shit, these people are humongous. They're gonna eat us if we land. And so they're trying to find little people that they can conquer, and everywhere they go, they're just giants, and they don't know what to do.
And the first football
Did,
game they see is a Rutgers game.
Right.
oh, God.
Bums. Don't even know
Did
what they
Trump
look like.
send out a meme of, like, the drones dropping McDonald's to, what's his name?
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
like this is the reminder, like, this guy's our president, and, like, he's also, like, an internet troll.
So Trump tweeted a meme of an AI meme of Chris Christie like sitting on a beach chair, stuffing his face with McDonald's, and then drones dropping McDonald's all behind him so he could continue eating.
Wow.
Just incredible. And you know what? People who don't find that funny, you're the reason Trump won. That's fucking funny. Objectively funny. That is hilarious. And it works. And it's very funny. But yeah, I think Trump doesn't even know what the hell they are. I think if he knew, he would say something. He can't keep a secret for shit.
Right. Do you think it was Kushner who was like, Father, this man and tried to imprison my father.
Yeah,
I have a meme.
yeah. He sent the meme. It's probably one of Kushner's kids. That guy's gonna be
Yeah.
like ambassador of France now, right?
His dad, yeah, who Chris Christie prosecuted,
Yeah,
I can't remember it. I think he may have served some time,
yeah.
but it was definitely political in
Oh yeah,
nature.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Kushner's dad was going through some legal shit, and his brother-in-law was talking about testifying, right? And his sister, and they were all against him. So he sent a hooker to seduce his brother-in-law, like hit on his brother-in-law. Brother-in-law falls for it, bangs this hooker while he's married to Kushner's aunt, right? Jared Kushner's aunt, Jared Kushner's. Anyway, so he's banging this hooker, probably raw dogging her, because he thinks she loves him and finds him super attractive. Middle-aged Jewish bankers are just pulling all the tail, right? And Kushner's dad films the whole thing, has the whore film it. Then he sends the sex tape to his sister. To be like, look at your dirtbag husband. I mean, what the? That's now the ambassador to France. C'est
Yep.
la vie, motherfucker.
He's also like one of the largest slumlords in the tri-state area.
Yeah, that's how he got his
That's
money.
how they made
Garden.
all their money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not like high-end rentals or nothing, but like
Uh,
slumlording, kicking people out, suing them for eviction, like dirtbag shit, 100%. Um, here we go now. Let's get to, all right, fine, college football playoffs. We went over the lines. We did all that shit already. I kind of want to tie in two headlines: transfer portal and the playoffs together. Hammer. We are seeing the Wild West, and I do think regulations are coming. The question is, what should those regulations be? Because at this point, somebody's stepping in to do something, right? People have talked about a salary cap, 20 million. People have talked about. I've talked about putting buyout clauses on all of these contracts, these NIL contracts, so people can't leave. But the problem is the school semester. The school semester ends, it's already ended. So now is when the transfer portal shit makes sense. After the college football playoffs are over, you're talking what, second week of January? Or like, right? Am I
right.
crazy?
Yeah.
So
No, you're in
school
spring. You're in
started.
spring semester.
Right. So how do you figure that out? I think there should be fucking waivers, and let's not pretend these kids go to class anymore. Like, shut the fuck up. But what, Hammer? What regulations? What even makes sense? Because we can't have this Wild West shit in the middle of a playoff run. Kids leaving, kids coming, kids going.
I think that it's two things working against each other. One is people want to push for a 14 or 16 team playoff,
Mm,
and we're already too far into the school year for kids to be able to that are on playoff teams, right?
mm-hmm.
Finish the playoffs with their team and then go in the portal because the portal closes because it has to close so you can enroll,
Right.
right? Regulation wise, I mean, I think there will be caps per school based on rev share to a certain extent. I think that some schools will have higher ability to give rev share because they drive higher revenue.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I think they'll be in like tiers or tranches. Um, and then I think that they are going to. I mean, any way you pull it, right? If you limit kids from transferring, you get right to work lawsuits, right?
That's the thing, is they got to be employees at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, they're employees at that point, right? So I don't know about the you know transfer here or there and limiting that. I just think they're going to limit the NIL money train to for the schools specifically the collectives or the traditional. I'm putting quotations around that NIL marketing
Yeah.
opportunities are outside of that. Um, but they've got Shea. They've got to figure out. Um, they've got to figure out how to keep these kids, um, you know, engaged on these rosters throughout the playoffs or throughout like what happened with the Penn State quarterback, I think
Right.
is a really interesting topic where because what you have with some of these schools, I don't know if regulation is going to fix this, but you have a Penn State or even a like a Texas, right, where you got a couple guys going to the portal who are like depth players,
Right.
right?
For sure.
And you look at like Texas has got most of these teams in the playoffs, they've got to win 4 games to win a national championship. Like it's a game of depth now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a game of depth. And so I think they've got to figure that out. How can you still play and provide your team with depth, but also shop yourself around and be able to do that. Because I think James Franklin told the guy to pound sand. I
That's what
think
I
James
heard too.
Franklin was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're out. Like, if you're transferring, you're out, which was like Sarkeesian's thing last year, but he adapted a little bit this year because I think the game's kind of changed a little bit. And so
Right.
he's allowing some of the transfers, the portal guys to play in the playoffs, a couple of them that have said they want to. So, I don't know, man. I think it's just going to be more bifurcation of, the top tier programs are still going to be able to buy the best players, but it's also creating more parity at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
it is. I mean, my question is if you make a kid sign a 2 year deal or a 3 year deal, first off, can you do that without calling them an employee? Well, I don't know.
I don't think any of these schools are signing multi-year deals. Is my understanding. They're signing annual deals that expire at the end of spring.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to sign a multi year deal.
Yeah, because like you take a kid like Micah Hudson at Texas Tech, who
Exactly.
allegedly was paid seven figures. Like you sign him to like he didn't even start at Texas Tech,
No.
right? So what about these kids that bust? Either they don't have the talent or they have the focus, they don't have the character.
Right.
Like the schools need some protection. So I think you're going to continue to see annual deals and reevaluation of your value every after every spring semester.
Sure, but I mean, you invite the portal madness essentially, or the renegotiation after every year when some kid they recruit gets paid 250 grand more than the kid the year before. Blah blah blah. You're just inviting madness. But I get it. I don't know. The playoffs are going to be a shit show. So the
Well, my
schedule.
thing with the playoffs, Shay, is like, what's going to happen for these teams that are hosting playoff games this weekend that have fan bases with holiday plans,
Yeah.
with other stuff? So I'll give you an example. In Austin, right? You've got two of the high schools in Austin are playing for the state championship on Saturday,
Oh yeah.
right? 5A, 6A, Vandergrift and Westlake, right? So all those people, those parents, those school members, like they're all going to Dallas, to Jerry's World for that. You've
hmm
got you've got NFL games on Saturday.
hmm
You've got
Which, by the way, fuck off NFL.
yeah,
Like, give me a
it's
fuck
kind
you.
of annoying, right? And then you've got like holiday plans, right? So it'll be interesting to see like
Christmas
how
plans,
big of an
Hammer. You have
advantage.
Christmas plans.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking
It'll be interesting to see like how much does home field advantage really play, like because my understanding like is it's treated almost like a neutral site game from like a game day experience,
uh huh.
meaning it's not going to be like a traditional Texas home game or a Penn State home game where they're running the jumbotron all the time and they got the announcers doing this and doing that to get people jacked up. It's more neutral the
Oh
way that the
really?
game's managed within the stadium. Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
my
know that.
understanding. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I know like Penn State's got tickets that are dirt cheap, right?
Yeah, like
Because
50
they've got a
bucks,
lot of
dude.
supply. Yeah, and then what was it? Tennessee fans are gobbling up Ohio State tickets
Yeah. Oh yeah. You knew that was
from
coming.
season ticket holders.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so I'm interested to see like how much of a home field advantage do these teams get. And we've got a bunch of games with pretty decent sized spreads. Shea, of the four games, who are the two teams that you think are most likely to the underdogs to cover those spreads?
I mean, probably not going to like hearing this, but Clemson at 11 and a half is one of them. Um, and then Tennessee plus 7.5. Yeah.
Those are my two. You nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think the Clemson UT line's absurd. I don't understand why it's 11.
I think anything
Um,
double digits is kind of crazy, especially with the way
right.
Quinn. I don't understand the logic there. I mean, I understand the logic esque because if Texas can shut down the run and play the kind of defense they've been playing while we establish a real running game, which is possible. Clemson's got some dudes on D line, but our running game, if we can put up Texas A&M numbers, yeah, okay, I can see us winning the game by 17 in the fourth. In the fourth quarter, we scored another touchdown and we're up 17 and end the game. I get that. Okay, but with Quinn, I just don't know how you bet 11 and a half. That's a lot.
Yep. Yeah, we've not been productive in the red
Red
zone the
zone,
last
red zone. Yeah,
couple weeks and turnovers, and they're a good turnover team. They have a really high turnover margin, and they've got
right.
like the dudes that Texas has. They just don't have the depth of dudes. That's the
Correct. They do
difference.
not, and some of the talent on the outside is not up to what Texas has as well. They're mismatched there. Our wide receivers. Uh oh.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I think like my thought this year is, I'm a Texas fan. I'm sure there's other fans on the podcast of other schools here, like a Tennessee, right? Or, whoever really. Like, this is kind of the year you could steal a natty almost, because there's not like
Totally.
one to two dominant teams. You don't
There's just
need to
not. Yeah.
be this year like the dominant Georgia, Bama, Clemson powerhouse, LSU 2019 team
Yep.
to win the national championship. You don't.
Hammer, the Oregon fan base has been saying just that too, and
Well,
the irony of like if they were in a 14 playoff, it's a lot easier this
exactly.
year with the down SEC than Lord knows what happens.
That
Sorry,
is
Shea, go
exactly
ahead.
the irony. Is the best team in the playoff has the hardest fucking route. That's what makes it
Yeah.
possible for a Tennessee to steal one here. Like Hakuna Matata could have his coming out party in these playoffs, y'all. They have a good fucking team, and Heupel is smart. Like I give the coaching edge to Heupel, and the offensive mind edge to Heupel in the Tennessee Ohio State game. Ryan Day, I think, is a fucking clunkhead, just a moron, especially when it comes to exciting shit on offense. Now, Ohio State's got a front seven that's formidable as hell, but it ain't like Tennessee's O-line is bad, y'all. Like, it's still a good O-line. And Tennessee's front seven is not bad. So 7.5 to me, that's a fucking you have to. I don't. You can go ahead and trick me. Ohio State wins by 13. Okay, fine. But the 7.5 number, if Nico can get going, if they can really spread out this Ohio State defense like Heupel does, I mean, we're talking 12 foot fucking spreads between the tackles, and you can sling the ball around and let Nico run a bit, dude. I could see Tennessee just winning the game flat out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have them winning in my bracket, and
You're
it's
After
straight up.
Texas, who would you be pulling for? Because I think for me it's probably Tennessee or
yeah.
Texas.
After Texas, I mean, obviously not Boise State or ASU, but I don't know. I'm kind of like the Ducks. I like Dan. I like Dan a lot. And there's always been, some glory with the Oregon Ducks with how many overs I've hit with them. Like on a late night West Coast Oregon Washington game where they put up 56 on their own, and you just fucking drive in the car straight to coverage town. So Oregon has a soft spot in my heart, but so does Tennessee.
Yeah, I'd say Tennessee for me, John. I really like Dan Lanning. I love what he's doing for that program, and I like his attitude. He's like a authentic Tom Herman.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's good. That's good.
I don't want them. I don't want them to win because we compete so much in recruiting these days, and they're already selling out shitloads of money to buy top talent out of Texas. So that would be the only reason I wouldn't want them. But I really do like what's being put together up there. Who's gonna? Let me ask you this, John. Who's playing quarterback in Oregon next year?
Great question.
So there's a kid. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but he's kind of the guy in waiting that everybody really likes. And I think the issue is like, do they grab somebody out of the portal to slot in there, or does this guy get a chance? And I'm sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
Is it Dante Moore or
That sounds
Austin?
right. Yes,
Yeah,
Dante Moore. Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Um, so, and that's the other question, Hammer, is I don't, you would know better than me. I don't know what quarterbacks are in the portal that people are really going to go after. The only one I've seen is the Penn State backup, hitting the portal. Not that, more from the news that, they're in the playoff and he announced it and he sees snaps, which is back to, the previous discussion. But yeah, I think he's kind of the guy. He's a transfer from UCLA, I think, and he's from Detroit, I think.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I think he's the guy. He's the person. He's kind of the guy in waiting. I think that everybody wants to see play and develop. I mean, we're also a school that's had 2 one and dones now, and I think like even though this kid's a transfer, I think the fan base is kind of there's sort of an identity self consciousness about like, okay, what about a guy who's been behind a Heisman Trophy finalist, who's been in the offense. If he gets a chance, what does that look like? What does that say about our program? I think there's a bit of that.
First, like renting someone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is that what
versus
you're
right.
saying? Yeah.
Yep. Versus grabbing one more guy out of the portal for a year. Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see
because
that.
I just think in recruiting that's really hard to sustain, right? It's really hard to continue to do that. Lincoln Riley's finding that out, right?
Yeah,
He's had a lot of challenges with quarterbacks and wide receivers at USC because of his actions at OU, renting quarterbacks.
pretty much.
Um,
Yeah, that quarterback
so,
room is dysfunctional. So for
dude,
game one, we have Notre Dame, Indiana, battle of the home of the Clan, 8 p.m. on Friday, December 20th. Notre Dame, 7.5 point favorites. I like Notre Dame here, but I'm not crazy about it. I also like Signetti a lot. Cigaretti's my favorite coach in college football right now. But more importantly, the Longhorns play at 4 o'clock on fucking TNT. So I guarantee who is announcing this game? Like who is calling this game? Like that's my biggest question.
it's Dusty Dvorak and Posh. What's his name?
Posh.
It's an ESPN production
Dave
on
Pash. Dave
Dave
Pash.
Pash.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
So that's what I was like. Are we gonna get like
Yeah,
Nancy Mormack
yeah.
and
Right.
like
Right.
some swag? Yeah. No, it's an ESPN production. It's just on
Okay.
TNT.
Okay.
Paul
Okay.
Bissonnette and Charles Barkley from basketball and hockey.
Exactly. The fucking
That'd be
Homer
awesome,
Bernards
actually.
calling the game. Okay. So more importantly, that game starts at 4 o'clock. But Shea and Irving is going to be at the airport because my flight to Austria with my 3 daughters and roommate leaves at 5 p.m. I was on hold with United Airlines all day today and was promised up and down that they have direct TV on my plane. Now, John brought up a very good point. Does direct TV work over the ocean when you get into European time zones? I do not know. But it's a 7.5 hour flight to Germany, and then we go to Austria from there. But 7.5 hour flight to Germany. The game will be an hour deep when we take off. I only need another 2 hours. We're not going to be in Europe by then. We're going to be by Bermuda or some shit. I should be fine. I should be fucking fine. I should be fine. But I'll be on a fucking plane. Now, this is a pro tip for all you degens out there with kids. Have an odd number of children. Never have an even number of children. You have 1, you have 3, you have 5. That's it. Because when you fly in a plane, the way the planes are set up, for example, if you have 3 kids, the 3 kids can sit together in a row. Or if it's a European flight and it's 4 wide, it's the 3 kids and the roommate. I'm on a completely different row. I'm a row ahead of them. I'm not even around them. So it's the roommate, the 3 kids, and then I'm ahead of them watching the fucking game. That's big brain. That's what I do. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, the kids are going to be talking to you, wanting things. Charge my iPad. Oh, sticky hands, grubby hands all over your screen, fucking up your view. Don't let that shit happen to you. Don't let it happen. Be better at your job. Be a good degen. So I'll be watching the game. And if they don't have it, well, you'll be reading about me in the papers. Emails. We got some emails here, Hammer. Senor O. Oh, almighty Shea. It's a good start. We are having a debate at work, and I need your input. Do you think Arizona State and Boise State deserve first round byes? No, nobody does. Do you agree that the top 4 ranked Power 5 champs get first round byes? No, I think that fucking rule's stupid and it'll be changed next year. 3, if you take out the conference champ rule, who do you think the 12 best teams are in college football for the best possible playoff bracket, and how would it play off? How would it play out? Who would be ranked where, and who gets the first round byes? Well, I mean, I think you just do regular seeding and you rank the top 12 teams and the top 4 get byes. That's it. I mean, that's pretty fucking simple.
Isn't it just the NCAA tournament?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
UNC beats Duke, wins the ACC, but like Duke's still a 1 seed
Pretty
because they're
much.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where I'm at. And I wouldn't have
yeah.
put, I mean, they ranked, they rank, excuse me, like the top 12 teams, if you look at it right now, they ranked SMU 11 and Clemson 12, and Clemson just beat SMU. So I wouldn't have done that. That makes no sense.
Right.
That's shit like that is stupid. But yeah, top 12 teams. That's what you do. And if that means that a 3-loss Bama's out, yes, 3-loss Bama's out. Sorry. You're 13th ranked in the country. Sorry. That's fine.
Well, hold on. With his question though, could that mean that a 3-loss Bama's in and Boise State's out or Arizona State's out?
Yes, if they're the top 12 ranked team, yeah. Like
Right.
I would just rank them top 12. Period. I think that's how we should do the playoffs. And if that means a 3-loss team is in, fine. But it also means a 2-loss team could be out. Okay, so be it. Like, I think not having Ole Miss and Bama involved in these playoffs sucks. I think that sucks. I would love to see Ole Miss in this playoff. I would love that shit. See Jackson Dart lighting it up. I've got an affinity for Ole Miss, though. But
I would replace Bama with South Carolina.
Totally fine. 100%. Especially a team that came on strong later.
Yeah, hot at the end.
But I love South Carolina this year. I bet on them a few times, and they came home in the clutch. But an Ole Miss, South Carolina, no Bama, fine. But I think Ole Miss specifically, we're missing out on a lot of fun stuff. And if we had a top 12 team, I mean, it's possible that a 3-loss team gets in, for sure. And I'm fine with that. Just rank them 1 to 12.
But you're saying conference champs don't get guaranteed seeds?
Absolutely not. Yeah. Fuck no.
Ooh. I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that.
Well, the conference championships are going to go away anyway. They're not going to exist in the next 5 years. It's going to be one commissioner handling all of NCAA, and it'll be a regional schedule. But nobody's going to care about conference championships anymore. It's going to be all about the playoffs and national championships. That's it. They don't hold any weight like they used to.
Because we're going to like a uni conference or 2 conferences.
Yeah,
basically.
or like conferences like the NFC and AFC. It's going to be like that. But I don't.
You think the SEC is going to give up power like that? I just don't think the SEC.
I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to at all. But for example, if you have an SEC champion who knocks off Bama, and Bama's clearly the better team, but the SEC champ beats them in some fluke game, and they get a first-round bye and they're guaranteed in, SEC eventually, Bama people are going to be like, fuck this. We went undefeated, like with Georgia a couple years ago. When it was a 14 playoff, and they lost to Bama in the SEC championship. They were the better team. Bama knocked them off, got into the playoff. They never should have. If it was expanded, they never would have. But they get a first-round bye because they won one game. It was the SEC championship. Fuck that. They had one bad game, and you lose a first-round bye. No, I think top 4 teams ranked, period, get first-round byes. That's how I would draw it up. And I think the conference championships could matter, right? Because depending on where your schedule is, depending on what your win-loss is, depending on your strength of schedule, what you need, sure, the conference championship might really matter. Like, for SMU, it really fucking mattered. Even losing that game, they played well against the conference champion. And they're both in. Okay, great. But I don't think, winning the ACC is going to mean you get a first-round bye anymore. They're going to put a kibosh on that shit. That is not going to
happen. But like Arizona State, did they get in the playoffs this year if they didn't win the Big 12?
Probably not.
But don't you want to see that? I feel like that's good for the game.
Good for the game, I guess. I want to see the 12 best teams play for the playoffs.
I guess. I just think it just totally, to me, it was just totally, the value of conferences go down considerably, which I understand what you're saying. I just don't think
football is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. This is minor league for the NFL. This is like arena ball, but a lot cooler. Like there is no such thing as college football anymore. There is no student athlete and all this other bullshit. It doesn't exist. We are paying players millions of dollars to get up and leave their alma mater in the middle of the fucking playoffs for more money. There is no integrity to the game anymore. That shit's gone. So let's just see the 12 best.
Okay.
All right,
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. This is cutthroat, man. Fuck it.
Shea, real quick, I was texting a buddy who covers aviation, and he said, no, something way more important, whether or not you can watch the Texas game.
Go ahead.
He said, pretty sure that DirecTV generally doesn't work outside the continental U.S., but it should have stream-friendly internet, but over water, that's not always a guarantee it holds.
I thought I had Starlink on United, Elon.
I think you do, but it's just a matter of he launched them in the right place so you could watch ball.
Of course you did in the right place. That's blasphemy. Take it back. It's our future American Caesar.
Oh, he just replied. It has your aircraft has Panasonic satellite Wi-Fi with a download speed of 10-ish megabytes, so you should be fine to stream the game if the connection's there.
They told me DirecTV, but whatever. I have a Merry Christmas email. This is great. Shea, Merry Christmas, brother. Hope you and the roommate are doing better. We are. Things are good. Do you think there's any truth to the rumor that a dirty bomb came through the Canadian border and the drones are actually U.S. military drones searching for it? Thank you. Thank you, Senor Matt. Yes, I fucking do. Thank you. All right. I just got, John didn't get to fucking read that one, so I got to read it, and I talked to the people. John has been gatekeeping. All right. What are we talking about next?
Editing that out.
See? He's going to edit that out. I got another email. Can I just read the emails? I'm fucking lost. Hammer got this one. This one sounds ethnic, so you'll love it. Senor V. Shea, I'm finally retiring from the military after 20 years next November. The weed situation has changed a lot since the early 2000s when I smoked it out of soda cans. And we knew what we were smoking. My question, where do I start with weed and other THC products with them being basically legalized without breaking my brain? This is an excellent question. This is an elder millennial like myself. Okay. So I didn't do marijuana or anything for 10 years. And when I got back into it, they weren't all legal, but there's a lot of medicinal shops all over like Massachusetts, California, some other places. Stay away from the gummies for now. Don't even go near them. Joints only. But they'll tell you how much THC is in the fucking joint. They'll say, 20%, 21%, sativa, indica, hybrid, heavy sativa, whatever. And the joint's going to help. Don't do the vape. Do the joint. Because the joint, you have to actually sit down. You have to spark it up. You have to smoke. And when you have too much, you can put it the fuck down. The vape is just too easy to bang, 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 bang all day long. All day fucking long. So be careful with the 25% shit. That's crazy town. That's enough. I would really recommend getting into the marijuana drinks. They make the seltzers now with the weed, and they'll put like 5 or 10 milligrams in a can. Mix yourself a drink, brother. Stay a while. Have a fucking little orange rind in there if you want. Get fancy. Take a sip, kick back, relax. Let it happen. Pretty simple. All right.
So you're not a proponent of the gummies?
Not when you're first getting back into it. No, because
Yeah, talk through that because I know a lot of people that do gummies.
dude, when you're getting back into it, let's say you see something for 10 milligrams and you're like, all right, I'm going to eat this and be okay. First off, it matters how fat you are because that's where the marijuana is stored. The THC gets stored in your fat. So it matters how fat you are. If you're super fat, you got to take more. But if you're like skinny and have a high metabolism, that shit will hit you harder. But you never know until you take it, right? How much have you eaten that day? Have you gotten high the day before? All those factor in. So you take 10 milligrams and it does nothing to you for the first hour. And then you take another 10 milligrams and then it hits you. And then it hits you again. And you're lost in the sauce. You're fucked up for hours.
You're in the spirit world.
You're in the spirit world. But not only that, the next morning you're stoned, dude. If you take this shit at night, then you wake up stoned. And I don't know about you, but for me, marijuana has always been like, I'm stoned for an hour or two when I had a sandwich and I was good. But I'm not signing up to be stoned for 12 hours. Like,
right.
Fuck that.
It's like taking acid or
That's
like,
awful.
That's like a huge commitment.
A huge commitment. I'm just trying to get stoned to go to bed. I got to wake up high.
Right.
My kids are here. Somebody wants breakfast. What the fuck? I'm groggy as shit. Like I took a Seroquel hammer. Like it's fucking awful.
Oh wow. Okay. So the edibles will do that, but if you just go old school, I liked your point about the vapes. I never thought about that. It's too easy.
Way too easy. Then you're in bed hitting it. The roommate gets pissed. Half of them don't smell like anything, so you can hit it in public. Marijuana was not meant to be smoked all day, every day. That shit is corny. That shit is for juveniles.
Right.
You're a grown
Right.
fucking man. You just retired from the military. You're going to be stoned all day, walking around like a goddamn hippie. No. You want to smoke some weed to chill out or to go to bed or whatever, but you want to hit a vape all day like a loser? Don't do that. Just do cocaine. Do cocaine. Just do cocaine. Be a grown up. Do some real drugs. Goddamn babies. Shea, longtime listener, fourth or fifth time emailer, recently went on a road trip with a good friend and basically forced fed him your pod. He's quickly become a fan. We're actually aspiring podcasters and are looking to take you down. Okay. Our podcast has already been copyrighted, but it's fire. A libtard and a red tard.
That's good.
Your new fan has one simple question in regards to Luigi Mangione. And that question is, would you? Thanks, Shea. And if you relapse, I suggest bringing back the Rebel Yell. Oh, those episodes were titties. The Rebel Yell I miss. I got to say that, Hammer. The Rebel Yell. It's like $10 a bottle. Oh, man.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was amazing. Luigi Mangione, would you? Does that mean would I fuck him?
I
Or
think that's the question.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. But would I shoot a healthcare? No. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. So, John, bleep this out if we have to. If they're shooting CEOs, the next target's going to be politicians, right? The people who write the policy that allow the CEOs to get away with what they're doing in the healthcare industry. Right? Am I crazy?
I'm surprised that hasn't happened already.
Right.
I mean, people have assassinated politicians, but, you know, not at the level I would think, given how crazy this country is.
Yeah. I think they're missing out. All
You
right.
might want to
What?
blurb that out.
Yeah, edit that out too. What? Have you ever eaten a squirrel, Hammer?
Can't say I have, Shay.
Raccoon?
Afraid not.
Okay. Deer you've had, venison.
I've had some venison.
Probably had some wild boar, considering your background.
I have.
Mm-hmm. I have had squirrel before, and it's fine. Tastes completely fine. Tastes like chicken. Never had raccoon. But Jerry Jones went on the radio, went on the fan, and started talking about how him and his mama used to fight for dibs over the squirrel brain when they would have their Sunday suppers. So I thought that was fucking alarming, but it also reminded me that Jimmy and Jerry are both from the same spot, but if you look at them side by side, they're both from Arkansas. Nowhere, Arkansas. Jerry Jones looks like he's from Arkansas, right? Jimmy looks like he's from fucking Miami Beach. Those two guys are going to look further apart if they tried, but they're the same person. Jerry looks like someone who ate squirrel brains. He's just been trying to dress it up all these years. He's still a fucking redneck, y'all.
That's some serious redneck shit. I thought it was raccoons.
Yeah, coons are gross. Jerry said he ate those too, but they fought over the squirrel brain. I thought that was
Okay. All right.
They fought. Him and his mama were like, I want the brain. No, I want the brain. Like, the brain.
That's my squirrel brain, Jerry. No, you got the raccoon eye. Give me that squirrel brain.
Give me that snout. Yeah, that's nasty. All right, that's all I got. Oh, we got an email about Leonardo DiCaprio, Hammer. This one's for you.
Ooh, got it. Bring it.
What's up, brother? You brought up Leo on the last pod, and it reminded me of a theory my brother told me about him. The theory is that Leo is a closeted gay man, and every couple of years he picks an up-and-coming model to be his beard. She gets exposure to her career, and people don't dive too deep into his personal life. Once they hit 24, it makes him sign an NDA. John, find out who fucking sent this. I want... Find out who... How could you?
I'll look into it.
What the fuck's wrong with you, Senor C?
You're not buying that?
Gay.
No.
No. I don't care what anybody says. He's just got a type, and it ain't dudes. We would know if Leo was gay, first off. Somebody would have spilled the beans about that, NDAs or not. One of these up-and-coming models that her career up and left would have been like, oh, by the way, Leo's gay. 100%. This is fucked up. We don't spread rumors on this show. We don't deal in innuendos, okay? This is a fact-based program. We check our sources, triple verify shit. This is run by professionals. Survive Christmas. Remember, it's Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. When they say Happy Holidays, get in their face and say Merry Christmas. Shake up the world. Make them afraid of you. Whatever it takes. And don't forget, nobody trusts you or likes you except us. Hammer?
So, enjoy your trip to, where are you going, Austria?
Yours.
Good
Vienna.
luck.
Yep.
You're going to Vienna.
Yep.
Good luck with trying to get the game.
Thank you.
And douse your kids with melatonin or something on the plane.
Oh, that's
It'll
done.
make your life easier.
Done. That's a good
Good. Good. Douse the roommate too.
one. Oh, shit.
You'll take a little bit more melatonin though.
Like Chardonnay and melatonin.
Ah.
Getting the flight attendant. More Chardonnay. All right. That's the
Shea.
show. That's all I got.
Hold
Merry
on,
Christmas.
Shea. Wait.
What
The
fuck?
people are going to be expecting gospel next week and the week after. And I don't know. I mean, you're going to be busy sweating it out in Austria buying geese. So we're off next week, right? We'll be back January 2nd to recap the college football first round and the quarterfinal rounds, correct?
We are off next week. Listen to us on Dan Patrick Takes a Gamble, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, all that other bullshit. Follow, like, and do what the guy did on the road trip. Fucking tell your friends, man. They're not promoting us because they never can. We'll go to jail. So, yes, off next week for Christmas. Merry Christmas. We'll be back after New Year's to talk about the playoffs and to talk about Austria. I'll be in Austria doing it. So let's get it in, y'all. Get weird.
Let's do it.